discussing about animation in last lecture. Okay. So we'll start with that, like some 3D animation of character we are trying to do, but some part was missing, so we're not able to complete that. Okay, so we'll do that.
Yes, yes.
So the character that we are using is sci-fi warrior from Asset Store. Isn't it? We downloaded that
Yes,
character.
sir. Yes, sir.
Three assets you have to check that. So this was the character. This was the character. You can download it from Unity Asset Store. I think you know the procedure how to download that.
Yes, sir.
After that, it will be available in Package Manager. Isn't it? Like if you go to Package Manager from Windows to the Package Manager tab, this will open. And here, if you go to packages, and here different options are there. So out of these options, these are like Unity Editor assets. And this in project means whichever in project we have assets that contains in project. But we want the asset from Unity Assets. So that is available in My Assets. So you have to click that My Assets, and you'll find it here. If you click all, to scroll it, you'll find that. But here you can also search directly, like character name we know, Sci-Fi Warrior. Sci-Fi Warrior. Okay. So this one is the character or asset. Okay. So we have already downloaded earlier, so that's why it is showing re-download. So we'll not re-download it, we'll just import it to our project. Okay. So you have to click this import, and whatever we are going to import from that asset store, that is shown here. So all these things will be added to our project folder in asset folder. Okay, so we just import this. Initially our project was empty, means only scene was there, nothing was there. Now in asset folder, this realistic character folder has created, and this contains that sci-fi warrior. So if you see the contents of this realistic warrior, it will have animation as in anim folder. Role, it will contain the characters, then other things are there. So some sample scene is also there, demo scene. It is called demo scene. So if you open this, this will open. So if you just play this animation will be coming here. Okay, this is demo scene. It will be provided by Unity Asset Store. But we will not use this. We will create our own scene and add animation into that. Okay. So we'll open our scene, sample scene. So here, first thing we have to do is to bring that model to our hierarchy, and you have to create one prefab of it. Okay. So the model or character is in this folder. Okay. So here some settings you have to modify here. So to click on this role T, then rig is there. Rig is nothing but bones which are going to move in particular direction. Like human, you have bones, so this character is also having bones. So only those bones along the joints is moving. So we'll not go into that deep. We'll just modify the setting of this character. Okay. So we'll modify the settings of this character. You have to click this role T file or a model, and then click on this rig. Okay. And character side. In saturation type, the unpick.
So your voice is breaking, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So here we have clicked or selected this model, that is role T. This is nothing but our sci-fi warrior model. And then we have to click on this rig tab, rig button or tab. And here in animation type, earlier it was generic. You have to click on this humanoid because we will be using it as humanoid. And apply the thing. Okay. Then in animation it is okay. Just rig we have to change to humanoid. Then we will move this character to hierarchy. This will appear in scene view. We can change the camera here, like that it will closer to us. Okay, so it will be like this. This is from back side. Okay, so here we have to create prefab from it. So what we will be doing? We'll be creating one folder here in project window, that is prefab. We have created a folder called prefab, and we are dragging and dropping this role T game object to prefab. So it will create a prefab. It is showing some message that that earlier whatever file you have taken, that is also prefab. It is asking for modifying that, but we will not modify. What other thing we will do? Other way we will do. We will unpack this prefab. Means whatever prefab it is, we will uh, unpack it. Means we will make it as a general game object. For that, you have to right click here, role T, and here prefab is option is there, and unpack completely. Okay, so this will be a general game object, whatever we have other game objects. Now we can drag and drop this to this prefab. Okay, this will create a prefab. Now this prefab is created. Now we will not use this prefab as it is to move our character. We'll have a parent game object, empty game object, and we'll add this role T to that parent empty game object. That we have done earlier also. So we'll create an empty game object here, name it as player. Okay. So we have created an empty game object player. Let us reset it to 0 and drag and drop this role T to player. Now here we have to add a character controller. Character control to move this particular character from one place to another by our some script will be having some functions that will move this character from one place to another. So character control will add component in layer game object. So this is layer and this character control we have added. You can see whether this character controller, just a moment, radius is this one. So this is not viewable basically, just a moment. This is game view we are considering. Scene view to see and make it just confined to this particular character. Okay, this is character control means that this is nothing but a collider. So we'll adjust it so that it will be just overlapping that particular character. So we have to increase height of this. Just make it fun, and radius also you can decrease like this so that it will be just coming in. This character should come inside that collider. Okay, this is okay. Okay, let us make it 0.5. So it will be exactly. Now, if you just play this, it will not have any movement. It will not have any movement because you have not given any animation to this character. What you have to do, you have to create animation for this character. So to give animation, there is another component that is called animation controller or animator simply. So we'll be creating that animation controller that will contain all the animation of this particular character. It is nothing but a container of animation. So let us create one folder, animation, and in this animation folder we'll create, right click here, create animator controller. Okay, let us give it as uh, layer animator controller. Okay, this is nothing but an animator controller. Now if you open this will be looking like this in this animator. If you want to, this is nothing but a window, animator window. If you want to bring this window, if it is not there, if it is nothing is there, that animator window, just you have to go into windows and then animation. Just a moment. Animator is there, so it will be opening here. Oh. Now this is entry point, means when game is played, then this entry point will be clicked. Like this will be starting from this entry point, entry box. But after that, we have to give some uh, initial animation. For that, we should have some animation. So initial animation will be idle animation, isn't it? When nothing is there and when game is played, it should be just idle. The player should be idle. So with this character, when we downloaded from the asset store, it has also downloaded some animation. You can see it here. Okay. So this is animation. Now this triangle is looking. This is animation, but it is combined with this particular game object, isn't it? Yes. This take 001 is animation, but it is confined or combined with this particular game object. You have to take this particular animation out of this game object or asset. So first of all, this FBX file there, you have to convert it to humanoid again. This idle and run. This is nothing but like a character model,
Oh,
but it is containing only animation. We will click this AI stand R idle and we will convert this generic to humanoid. Okay, and apply here. Now this error will come. So for that source, you have to take it from the that original character we had earlier. This role you have created from original character. So from that we'll be having. You have to just click here and take this role avatar, role T avatar. This thing you have to do. Like nothing. Now if you apply here, this error will be gone. Like some warning will be there, but error will be gone here.
oh,
Now you can just take this idle animation from here by clicking Control D. Control D. Control D means duplicate. Click here, Control D. So this animation will be taken out from this particular file. And this is nothing but idle animation. So you have to just rename it to idle. Okay. Now see here, just we are clicking on animation. So there is no model is available. So this is Unity's default model. It will always do for animation. So if you play here, so you can see here idle animation is playing. This is idle animation. Okay, now we create run animation from here. Again, you have to click on this file and you have to convert animation type to humanoid. And again, you have to select this avatar, role T avatar, that is coming from that model, original model, and apply. The warning will be coming, so you don't have to consider that. And then again, duplicate here this run animation and rename it to run. Okay, so now we have two animation, that is idle and run. Idle and run, and this is animation controller, animator controller. So now it is already no. See here, this role animation controller is coming from the Unity asset store, but we have created our own animation controller here. This one is our, that one is from,
player.
this is their animation controller is our. So what we will do, whatever animation we have created, that will take from this folder anim. This is the idle you have created and run you have created. Both will take and will copy it to, not copy but move it to animation folder. Okay, here we do it. So now here we have idle animation, run animation, and player animation animator controller. And player animator controller is this one. This window contains this player animator controller. Now entry point is this one. You can see here it is written here entry.
It,
So if you want to have initial animation of character, then you have to just drag an initial animation will be idle animation. Okay, we just drag and drop this idle to here. Now this arrow is coming from here. Okay, so this is default animation. After the game is played, this will be running. This idle animation will be running in loop. Okay, this entry point is there. Entry point is nothing but when game is played, and it will start. It will giving arrow to idle means it will start doing that idle animation, and it will be in loop. Okay. Now you can see here that, but first we have to add this animator controller to our this model. If you click on this role T model, there is animator control component is there. Animator component. This is component, and you can see here there is control is written here. So this controller is nothing but animator controller, and that is we have created this layer animator controller. we just drag and drop here. Now we'll do one thing. We'll add that is plane will be adding, ground will be adding. So just right click here, 3D object and plane. Okay. Now here we have to reset this, so that will be having the component at 000 transform component, and this main camera will just move back so that we are able to see this particular character. Minus 2.5. Okay. Now we have this layer as the empty game object. Okay, but we have added some character control component to it, and child of this layer is our model. So with this layer, whenever character controller is means if you change the properties of this character controller, then this role T will also move like that. Like if you move player, then role T will also move. We saw that earlier also. That is, if parent game object is moving, then child game object will also move.
Yes.
You can just see here like this. So this model is child of this player game object, but as we move this player game object, then character will also move. So we'll make it 0 only. Now if we play here, here role T model is there and controller is this player animator controller. This one is the, you can see this window.
Yes, sir.
This is player animator controller window. Now if you start playing this particular setting, so what will do? It will start this idle animation. We'll be playing this, and this character should be looping in idle. So see here, it is having idle animation. You can just rotate this layer 180 degree y-axis. So you can see this. It is in idle animation. So now we have to make this particular character to move. Uh, if you add here run animation, this is idle animation. So we can add run animation also here. Just you have to replace, you have to click on this idle box, and you can see here on the right hand side motion is given idle. You can see here idle animation you have given.
Yes.
So to just replace this idle with this run. This is just for showing you how run animation is happening, but it will be idle only here. So if you play here, then this will be in running condition. This will be like not running, but it will be walking like. So we'll have just idle animation. Okay, up to this is okay. Like we have created one plane and empty game object player, empty game object player, and we have attached character controller to it. We have not done anything with the character controller till now. We have done only with this particular model. We have added animator controller to this and one animation, that is idle animation. Okay. Now we have to move this character, means when character is standing, we should have idle animation to it, and when it is moving by our character controller, then it should have run animation. That we have to do. Okay, so we just increase the ground area. Let us make this 5, 5, 5. So increase the area for running or walking this particular character. So for that, we have just click the plane, and we have increased the scale from 1 to 5 on x-axis and on z-axis also. 1 to 5 you have created. That's why you have got more area to walk this particular character. Now we'll create one script, folder script, create C# script, and let us call it layer, just okay, layer movement. Okay, let it compile, and we'll add this layer movement script to this layer. Layer movement script, we have not added anything, but we'll add this layer movement script to there. Okay. Now we have to move this particular character as per our keyboard clicking. Okay, if you press left key, then it should go left. If you press right key, it should go right. So open this script. So first thing you have to do, you have to create one variable for character controller. Okay, so public character controller, give controller name as controller. You can give anything name, but we'll give controller. And here we can drag and drop also, or you can take it from finding object, but we'll just drag and drop from here. See here one empty game object is there, so you have to just drag and drop this character controller to here. Okay, or from here also you can drag and drop because it contains one character controller that will be added into this particular controller variable. Now start function, you don't have to do anything. Here what you have to get from user, if he clicks left arrow key or if he clicks right arrow key, we should get the input from user. So for that, create put move x is equal to input dot get axis horizontal. Means on x axis how much movement is that taken. Then z axis, we are not moving in y axis. Vertically we are not moving. Okay. So we will be moving on z axis and x axis. See here in Unity editor, if you see here, this red one is the x axis. Red one is the x axis. Yes, ma'am.
No, nothing, sir. Blue is Z axis.
Uh, Blue is z. Yes, blue is z, and red one is the x axis. So we'll be moving only this x axis and z axis. So here we'll be taking the value of move z is equal to input dot get axis vertical. Vertical, why we are taking? Because if user clicks up arrow key, then we will be getting vertical value. But it will not be going vertically. We are giving that value to move z. Okay. Now we can define one variable speed, by how much speed it will go. So public speed is equal to, let us, we will not assign value, we will assign value in Unity editor. So it is a float value. It is also float. Means in point we will be getting that value. So let us assign some value here. Let us take 5. Now here we'll be calibrating the, like, if having the value, we having the function controller. Controller is nothing but your character controller variable. Controller dot move. In this, we'll be having how much on x-axis it has moved. So move x, comma 0 0.0f, comma move z. We can create one variable also of this and directly give that variable. What we'll be doing? Create one vector3 variable, vector3 movement, and we'll assign the value vector3 dot 0. Little bit, I think we have seen this. Vector3 is nothing but which is having three values. Okay, vector3 is one of the data type, and if you define that data type and give the variable as movement, this is the variable. So it will be having three values, x, y, and z. And we are assigning the value vector3 dot 0 means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, and z is equal to 0. Okay, so initially it will be having this value. Now as you manipulate or modify in your update function, it will be modified. Because we are going to modify that. So movement is equal to vector c move x, comma 0.0 f, comma move z. So only this we are doing. That is, on x value will be having move x, on z value will be having move z. Now what we'll do? We'll input to this move function as movement, but we have to multiply it with speed also. Means how much speed we have to go. Like move means how much distance you have to move, and speed means by how much is the speed, how much quickly you have to go that character. And time dot deadline, for smooth movement we have to multiply with time dot deadline. So only this you have to do. Okay, so you have created one variable, that is move x, which will have the value how much user has clicked. Like if it has clicked the left arrow key, then this move x will be negative value. Okay, if user has pressed right arrow key, then this will be positive value. And similarly for move z, if user has pressed the vertical up arrow key, then it will have positive value. If user has pressed down arrow key, then it will have negative value. Means if user has pressed up arrow key, then z will be having the positive value, and then character will go in positive direction in z axis. Okay. So we have this movement variable. This is nothing but vector3 data type, and x value and z value are defined, and we are moving this character with this particular moving function. Now let's see, if you play here, see, character is moving, isn't it? I'm pressing left arrow key, then it is moving left. If you are pressing right arrow key, it is going right. If you are pressing like this and like this. This character should have running animation when it is moving, and when it is standing, it should have this idle animation. So for that, we have to create or modify this animator. Here we have only this idle animation. What we'll do? We'll add one more animation, that is run animation here. but it will not be played. You have to give some condition here. So for that, from idle box, you can see here, if you zoom it, there is some boxes are there. Idle and run animation are there. What we'll do, we will create, right click this idle animation and make transition. Make transition. We'll give make transition and click to run. Again from run, we'll right click and click this make transition and it will be going to idle. Now, when should this your character should go from idle to run or from run to idle? So you have to create one trigger for that, trigger or boolean variable. So it is given here, plus sign is there.
Yes, sir.
So if you plus, just a moment, to create this parameter first and then plus sign. Okay, so here different methods are there, but initially we using trigger or boolean only. Bool means boolean variable. So it is taking boolean variable bool. Let us rename it to is running. Now here, if this will have this idle to run transition. This one is the idle to run, and this arrow is for run to idle animation. Okay. So what we'll do, we click this left arrow, left line, this transition, and here on right hand side, we have created this is running variable also. So on right hand side, we will add one condition. Here condition is there. So initially when game is played, the character will be in idle condition. Now it should go to run condition. For that, is run when is running is true. Is running is true, then it should go to run condition. When is running, we'll do this modification of the is running true to script, but here is running variable is there. So when is running is true or clicked here, when it is clicked, that means it is true. When this is running is clicked, that means it is true. So here you can add this condition, plus sign is there, you have to click this plus sign. Is running is true, then it will go to run condition. And second is there, this one, run to idle. When run to idle will happen? When is running is false. Here is running false. So see here, when game is played first time, the character will be in idle position or idle animation, and will not give any condition to go him to run condition. But when we make this is running true, then this run animation will be active. And when we make this is running false here, then this idle condition will be active. So this we will be doing through script, or from here also you can do. Just see here, if you play here, initially it will be in idle condition. See here, idle condition is active, only blue line is in the idle condition, and character is also in idle condition. You can see here,
Yes.
we'll just make it 90. Uh, so it is in idle condition. Now what I will be doing, we will be making this is running true. How to make that true? You have to click here, select it. So if you just select it, it will start running like this. Because you have given if is running true, then it should go into run condition. Now if you again deselect it, then it will stop in idle condition. Now this uh, selecting or enabling this is running or disabling is running, you have to do it in script. Means when player is running, means if you are pressing some right arrow key or left arrow key, then it should run, and if you are not pressing any arrow key, then it should be idle. So here, stop this and to give one condition. If move x or just if movement is having some value, okay, so movement or magnitude, movement or dot magnitude is giving the value. If movement dot magnitude is greater than 0, means if user has pressed any arrow key, left arrow key, right arrow key, up arrow key, or right down arrow key, then this movement will have some value and magnitude will give some value. Otherwise, it will be 0. So if user has pressed any key, then it should run. For that, we have to access that animator also. So for that, you have to create one variable, public animator anim. Okay, we have to access that animator controller, and we have to access that property, that is running. So if you go into Unity editor, in our anim one variable is created, and here we have to assign some value. So we have to assign it from here. This role T. Role T is having this animator controller. So if you just drag and drop role T here, it will be added. This role T animator will be added. Now we have this animator variable as anim. Now, if movement is greater than 0, if user has pressed any key, then this will be activated. This if function, if block will be activated, and here will be giving anim dot, and that variable is running is boolean. So dot set bool will be setting it false or true, but there is a function that is set bool. By that we can set false or true for this particular variable, that is running variable. Set bool running, if you have to give in inverted comma, because this is the string variable, string we have to give, and here we have to give true. What we are doing? If player is moving left, right, backwards or forward, then this will be greater than 0. This condition will be true. Then we will be making this is running true. Otherwise, else will be false. Okay. So what we are doing? This movement we have taken from this left arrow key or right arrow key, and if it is greater than 0, what we are doing is the anim is nothing but variable containing that animator controller, and we are accessing the property that is running. You can see it here. Is running is there in animator controller. So if you make it true, that means if you select it, then is running will be active. This run animation will be active, and if you deselect it, this idle animation will be active. Similarly in script also, if is running is making true, then we are making this particular character to run animation, and if it is false, then it will be idle. So just test it. One thing we can do, like if you want to make immediate transition from one animation to another, you have to this transition is there, the transition line. You have to make this has exit time deselect. Has exit time deselect. You will disable this. This also disable this. So you can play this. See here. Now I'm pressing left arrow key. It is moving like this. Right arrow key. There is. If you are pressing key, then it is and running animation is occurring. Otherwise, if you are not clicking any button, then it will be idle. Okay. Now there are some advanced topic in this, like if you are clicking left arrow key, then his head should move to left, isn't it? Now it is moving left only, like his head is straight only. Do one thing, make this character orientation like this. Now if you play here, you can see here it is moving like this. If I press left arrow key, then it is going left, and if I press right arrow key, it is going back. You can do one thing. Now, one more thing you can do. If you want, you can make this camera, main camera is there, so you can make the camera as the child of this player. Do you know the concept of third person controller or first person controller in game?
Third
Like,
person.
first person controller or third person controller. Third person controller means user. If you see the any game like that game is there. I don't know the name of that, but if you want to see from the back of the character, then it is called third person controller. And if you want to see from the eyes of the character, then it is first person controller. So if you want to make third person controller, you have to just make this main camera as the child of this player. Okay, now we have to adjust this camera properly so that you will be able to see the back of this character. Then we will be always seeing the back of this character. We have to make this 0, and this main camera component values you have to change. They take it somewhat higher on z axis, on x axis, make it somewhat like this. Let's see. By changing these transform values of this main camera, what we did now, like we have dragged this main camera as a child of player, and we have changed the transform values of this main camera as per our requirement, so that it should be like this exactly, like it should be from the behind of head of character.
Yes.
Now if you play here, camera will follow player properly. If you play this is the lower one is the game view, will be seeing like this. Now if I press left, here we are moving, but camera is also moving behind the character. The down arrow key, this will be going down, like backward. You can see it here also. Now I'm pressing forward, which is going forward. This right back arrow key, down arrow key, then it will go backward. If you keep on pressing forward key, then it will, we'll see what will happen. If it is outside of this plane, it is going forward. It is not falling, but there is no rigid body attached to it. There is no rigid body attached to it. So it will be in the air itself, like this. If I press left arrow key, then it will go left. If I press right arrow key, then it will go right. There is as I told, there is advanced topic in this, like whichever way we are moving, whichever key we are pressing, that head should be pointing to that particular direction. Okay, so you can explore that and try to implement that. Okay? This is all about character animations.
Oh,
So on that last lecture, we have studied about the simple loop animation of box. Okay, last some quickly taken that. But some other things are also there, like canvas, what we call UI animation. UI animation also we can do. We'll see that. We'll create one canvas here. So this image only we'll create. As you create image, this canvas will be appearing here. Let us take the color of this image as, let us take green. And make the position right. Now we want this green square to be moving bottom to top, like in loop. Okay, so that we can do. For that, we have to create one animator controller again. See here, the any animation if you want to create, that you have to create with animator controller. You're creating animator controller, create animator controller. Okay, animator controller we have created. Let's call it uh, box animation. Box animator. Okay, and this will be attaching to image, to whichever game object you have to do. You have to attach that to that game object. Box animator will be attached here. Add component. Okay, so here we have added. Now there is no animation attached to this particular box animator, so you have to create animation. Create animation. Let us call it box animation. To create animation for this box animation, you have to click on this image, whichever game object animator controller is attached. You have to click that game object, and here on animation window is there. See here on the top. This is animation window is there. Okay, now here you have created this box animator, but you have not added this animation to here. You just drag and drop this box animation here. So this will be idle animation. Idle means initial animation. Now if you click this image, this animation will be there. See here, the one line is there, and some at the top you have some values here. So these values are nothing but second or frame. Okay, frame number. So this up to here, this is 1 second. That means 60 frames. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to move this image box from top to bottom. So first of all, we have this at the top here. Let's have the value here. Now it is at the top. Now we have to record animation. Record animation for this box. Just click on this red circle you have click, and make this value 80, or you can just add this one. No, not this. this value. Uh, See here, what you did, we are recording here, so you have to make this y value will be changing. So let us make it 80. So it will be adding. Again, we have added 80 because we have to insert this value here. Okay, now what we'll do, we will move these to 30, 30th frame. This line is there. You can see this. This line
Yes,
is
sir.
we will move it to 30 and change this y value to make this at the bottom here. This is minus 80. Earlier it was 80. This is minus 80. Now, if you stop this recording and just play this much only, so it will be, if you play from 0th frame, so it will be like moving to bottom video. But we want to bring it back to top also. So again, it will be recording at the 60th frame, that is at 1 second. We'll be having this value again to 80. Okay. Now we'll stop this recording. Now what we did, we have moved from top to bottom here and then again to top. Now we want this to be in loop, so we have to select this box animation and loop time is there. You can see here.
Yes, sir.
You have to click this, so that will be in loop. If you play this, that will be in loop. You just stay here. You have recorded this and just playing this. So character will also be moving, and this box will also be moving with the animation. This animation you can make anywhere, like around these corners or the borders also can make. Depends like how you are doing. So these values only record while recording. You have to now here you can see only image anchored position dot y is there, but we can move this green box from left to right, right to bottom, bottom to left, and bottom to again top. That way you can do. Okay, so this UI animation also you can do like this, and you have seen the cube animation in last lecture, I think. So okay, ma'am. Anything you want to discuss like from last lecture or today's lecture?
No, sir.
If you have any doubt, you can ask. And
Not,
in the coming, yes, ma'am.
no, not now, sir. I
Okay. Okay. So in coming lecture, we'll be making some games. Okay. Some games, means one or two games we'll be making, and some other portion is also remaining, like audio is remaining. So that we will also see, and how to create APK. APK you must be knowing, ma'am.
Ethica.
APK, APK. Like if you
APK.
want to install any game in mobile, that file is called APK. APK file. Uh, if you is open that file in mobile, then that game will be installed in your mobile. So how to create APK, that we'll see in coming lecture.
Oh,
So that whatever game you have created, that should be playable in mobile. Okay.
okay.